Welcome to our Priestess of Isis transmission. It's such an honor and a pleasure to journey with you all. And I just felt really guided to call in Goddess Isis and to come together as a collective, simply because right now what we're going through, this huge transition that we're going through as a collective, but also as priestesses and light workers, I felt Goddess Isis coming in for me so much this week. And it's really showing me what it is we need. What medicine do we need? And so this Priestess of Isis energy is what I want to go in with you today to share with you more about that. And at the end of our journey together, I'm going to do a Priestess of Isis energy transmission so you can feel the energy as well and begin to feel the shift around that. So Priestess of Isis, Goddess Isis, this energy that is coming in, showing me that we're in a transitional phase, and so you might be feeling that right now. You might be feeling a little bit lost, a little bit ungrounded, a little bit unsure about how to move forward, especially with potentially your gifts, your spiritual gifts, your priestess gifts, your divine feminine gifts. Perhaps you have the skills, you have the gifts, but you don't know quite how to bring it into tangible form, how to bring it into this physical world, how to transmit your unique frequency into this physical world. This is what Goddess Isis shows us and teaches us, is how to do that, how to build our temple on earth. It's all about creating your temple. It's all about becoming a temple keeper and the empowerment that comes with that. There's a lot of empowerment that comes when we hold space as leaders, as priestesses, as light workers. So when we have our temple space, it's not only supporting us, our growth, our development, our ascension, it's also supporting the greater service, the greater purpose of how you're meant to serve humanity, and also empowering you in your embodiment process. This is what it's all about. This is what we're here to do. Eventually, for all of you who are watching, eventually for all of you who are on that spiritual path, who have your spiritual gifts, eventually all of you will anchor in and create your temple space. Now, what does that look like? It doesn't mean a physical temple. It can also mean an etheric temple, an energetic temple. So this is what we need in order to grow and expand into our embodiment, into our ascension journey, anchoring our light and our divinity, just as Mary Magdalene did, just as Isis did, just as Yeshua did, Mother Mary did. And if you think about it, these masters who were once on the earth plane, who are now in the higher planes, they still have their own temples in the higher planes. So there's a lot to be said about having your own temple space and what that really means, right? But what I've found is, being in this line of work for 15 plus years, working with so many people on this path and this journey, and also anchoring and mastering my own path, what I see is the steps that it takes to awakening, activating those gifts, activating that remembrance, growing into that confidence, and then anchoring that into the earth and birthing your light, birthing your divinity, birthing your cosmic lineage, your soul lineage, your ancestral lineage, all these gifts that are ready to come through and come forth. To actually birth these, that's a process, right? And maybe some of you or many of you are resonant with that, because I work a lot with people who are stuck in that 3rd dimensional to 5th dimensional transition phase. That, perhaps you still, you're working your 9-5, you've got your career, you're kind of doing the general things that everyone does, but it's like, how do I transition from that into completely manifesting through my gifts, through my divine feminine essence, through my higher purpose? We're all fulfilling our soul's purpose in some way, right? Because it's a growth, it's a continuous growth. But the higher purpose is what is in alignment to your higher self. It's what you're ready to bring in terms of a higher state of embodiment, like the path of the high priestess, for example, right? So this is what it's about. And so the Priestess of Isis is one who embodies her power. She's the temple keeper. She holds the space for the temple, and she grows through that process. I also see a lot of people who are afraid to step forward and take that action. It's very common, it's very typical for priestesses and light workers when we're in that transitionary phase to want to anchor and take action because, oh, I'm not ready, I'm not enough, I need to do more healing for myself. And actually what you find is actually the way you perfect yourself is by putting yourself out there, is by holding space, is by creating your temple. That's actually how you perfect yourself. That is how you come into a state of refinement in your power, in your divine feminine gifts, in your essence, in your embodiment, in your sovereignty, this, feminine Christ consciousness, Christ-light path, the path of light. This is why we're here. It's to embody our light and to become the fullest expression of our light, of our divinity. And to not get caught up and bogged up in this dense world where we're learning to overcome that. We're learning to purify and transmute that so that we can carry more light in our physical body and create that temple of light in our reality, to be of greater service, to have more abundance in exchange for our ability to be of higher service. And this is called the fifth dimensional reality. What you're co-creating you're co-creating your fifth dimensional reality, your fifth dimensional consciousness. This is the way of living through your divine feminine, right? But here's the thing. There's a difference between having a business and having a fifth dimensional business, guys. Yeah. Your fifth dimensional business, you're co-creating with the universe. You're co-creating with the ascended masters. That's what it takes to have a fifth dimensional business. So there's a lot of value we can have with mentoring with Goddess Isis, Mary Magdalene, Mother Mary, because they're there waiting for us to listen to them. They're waiting for us to work with them. It is a universal co-creation. And so to be the divine feminine priestess, to make this shift, we need their support, we need their guidance, we need their help. That is what we need. So does that resonate? Give me a message, give me an emoji, just let me know if that resonates. So this co-creation, we need to open up our channel for that. We need to clear the way. How do we clear the way? We have to purify. We do need the energy transmissions, the high frequency healing practices, the embodiment, the specific, methods of connecting to our body, connecting to our heart. All these things, this is all important. Of course it is. Yeah, because we have to clear the way to our higher self, to our soul, to our hearts. And I see so many people on this journey who've maybe even been on this journey for many years who are still stuck in this process. There's mastery that is required here. There's deep mastery. And this is why working with the Ascended Masters, Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, Isis, Hathor, Sekhmet, these are all the goddesses that I work with pretty much on a daily basis. That they're my team, right? Is that each of them hold a very specific lineage that supports us with our journey. Sekhmet has this fire energy. She transmutes. Mary Magdalene has this kundalini energy. She takes us into our body. She supports us to become empowered through our womb, through our yoni, through our sacred sexual power. Goddess Isis is all about balancing of your power. She supports us to anchor our light into the earth, but also to hold the balance of heaven and earth within us. Goddess Isis is really great when we actually need to come into our body and anchor our light into the earth. Why? Let me tell you something about Goddess Isis, okay? Goddess Isis, when she was here, when she was incarnated, she would listen to the song lines of the earth. She would listen. She was completely co-creating in harmony with the earth. Something that not many of us do now. Maybe the Aboriginal lineages, the Native American lineages, these kind of sacred ancient lineages that are still on the planet, they work with the song lines of the earth, right? It's quite shamanic. Isis was shamanic. Yeah? Mother Earth was her teacher, her guide. And she worked in alignment with the harmony of the ley lines, the song lines. She co-created with the earth and with the elements. That's why she had so much power. And this is the journey of initiation we are all on. Like this is that these masters were on earth. They went through, they walked the path that we walked. So they're there to show us the way. You see? So with Goddess Isis, it's about that balance of heaven and earth, because she was also cosmic. Of course she was, right? But she was rooted into the earth. She you know, and I call this the roots of Isis. I have a specific transmission for this. Roots of Isis. What does that really mean, to anchor your ancient priestess lineage into the earth? This is something we do in the Temple of Sophia Priestess School. Now, something also we do in the school, and something that I have come to refine and support people with, is this, you know, refinement of your unique frequency, your unique lineage. Like your lineage, like as a priestess, like if you look at me and the way I present myself, the energy that I pull through and channel, that's unique to me as well, right? And we all have our threads of uniqueness. And how are these threads of uniqueness, you know, come together, right? So first of all, we have our ancestral lineage. That is really important, because we're pulling through gifts and lineages through our genetic line. This is actually a big part of your unique frequency, is those ancient gifts that have come all the way through your genetic line. Then your soul's lineage, which is all the lifetimes you've had as a soul, and all the memories, all the gifts, all the embodiments, transmissions, all the experiences you had as a soul on earth and interdimensional realms. So, or mostly earth realms, I'm going to say, because then I was going to say the cosmic lineage is more interdimensional realms, right? So you've got all these experiences in Egypt, Atlantis, Lemuria, this, that. That's your unique journey right there. That's your unique soul's blueprint. You understand? So there's that. That's that unique soul's blueprint that's going to get activated and awakened. And I call this the song of your soul, the music of your soul, that unique blueprint. That is your journey through hundreds and hundreds of lifetimes on earth and wherever you've been, and all those gifts you've acquired, all those lineages you were in. For example, I've seen almost 300 of my lifetimes so far, because I'm a big past life person. I see a lot of my past lives. I've cleared so much of my past lives. And, you know, I had past lives where I was a Jew and I was studying the Torah, and I got a transmission from that and I embodied that. You know, so as we delve more into our past lives, we're also retrieving those gifts. We're activating our blueprint in this lifetime, in this incarnation. So everything that I'm retrieving, it's like my remembrance of retrieving these gifts and pulling them through into the now, because it's a part of me becoming whole in my unique soul lineage, my frequency, my embodiment, my mastery of all those past lives where I mastered certain things. I was, you know, for example, you know, part of, you know, the time of the Great Pyramid or whatever, like the memories that we've had during the specific times we were here on earth, those specific times of evolution. And this is what Goddess Isis also supports us with. She supports us with connecting to our ancient priestess memories, our ancient priestess lifetimes, to retrieve those gifts. Yeah? So there's all these different lineages that we've been in, you know? And that's a part of your soul's lineage, your soul's blueprint. And that gets activated the more you devote to this path, the more, you know, transmissions, journeys, procedures, practices, things like that. You're constantly clearing and awakening yourself. Then we have your cosmic lineage. So this is your interdimensional lineage, right? Pleiades, Sirius, Arcturus, all of these lineages all make up your cosmic DNA. So that's your cosmic lineage as well. So let's see if we can try and bring those three together. What does that mean for you? And this is what we get clear on in Temple of Sophia Priestess School. And, you know, bringing those together is what creates that unique song, that unique frequency for you. But it also, it's you being embodied in your light. You know, it's like getting to know yourself on all these threads, all these lineages, all these levels. And this is why, you know, working with these different ascended masters like Kuan Yin, Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, they're all holding a specific lineage and frequency. You see how even they have their own unique frequency, even where they are now in the higher realms. They have their own unique frequency, don't they? We go to Mother Mary for this, we go to Mary Magdalene for that. So it even translates in the higher realms. We look at this with the archangels, how each of them have their own specific signature frequency. I love that. I think that's really, really beautiful. So this is what we're doing. We're retrieving these gifts and we're trying to bring them together, you know? And also, as a priestess of Isis, is this balance of power, this healing and clearing of your power and the balancing of your power. Very important, because it's an empowerment journey. We have to master the reality that we're in, you know? But also to make that transition from third dimension to fifth dimension, you have to recognize that there are lessons in the third dimension, you know, the lessons in your corporate world or your workspace. I used to be in corporate. I understand this. I made that transition from corporate to doing this full time almost 10 years ago. So I get it. But, you know, I've learned so much from this process because I've walked through it and I've taught people through it. Do you see what I mean? So it's like, you know, when you're in corporate or you're working in, you know, these other institutions, there are lessons to be learned here that will translate in your eventual spiritual business or your temple, whatever it may be. That all those lessons are going to translate. So whatever is in your reality now is going to translate. It's what you're working to embody and learn. Boundaries. How important is boundaries when you have your own business? But how important is your boundaries when you don't even have your own business, you see? Because things get amplified, you know, when you want to anchor your gifts and start actually becoming empowered through your gifts. That divine feminine path that you want to walk full time. And let's say that you're someone who seen so many people with having lots of skills or trained in so many things and almost confused as to how to move forward. Like, how do I move forward now? I've trained in this, that, and I don't know what to do with it, you know? And that there's always an answer. I always help people with that too, you know, when you're training in different things, you're kind of connecting with different lineages. It's the same as what I'm saying, right? You're trying to find pieces of the puzzle for yourself. So everything is a piece of the puzzle, right? So what else did I want to say? So, you know, once you get to that point, you know, the Priestess of Isis is one who wants to then start building her temple, creating those foundations to anchor her light. Because when you create your own energetic temple or physical temple or whatever it is what's going to hold you to expand in your cosmic feminine, sacred feminine, divine feminine energy. Your gifts, your expansion, your expression is all going to be held by the temple. So it's like almost like creating a structure. Like, for example, Magdalene's temple for me, my temple space I've had for many years, it's held me to expand and grow in my truth, in my light. You know, I'm showing up in my temple space, right? I'm doing lives, I've done this, I've done that, you know, all over the years, showing up and I'm holding space. I'm holding a temple space for people. And that can look different for different people, you know? So the point is that once you start doing that, this is where the lessons around power come in, you know, because you're holding a space of power, but you've got to learn from that too. And this is how you refine in your boundaries. This is also how you refine in your higher purpose, because your higher purpose is ever evolving, ever changing, ever growing. And, you know, it's perfecting itself. So it's going to look different, you know? For those of you who may have known me for a really long time, you may have seen me go through changes and transformations. Magdalene's temple itself has gone through changes and transformations. And, you know, I'm holding different frequencies as I move through. You know, now, you know, where I was more very deep in the Magdalene energy, which I still love and I still honor and I still am there, I'm now being asked to hold more Sophia, Temple of Sophia energies, because Mother Mary, Isis and Hathor are coming in for me so strongly all the time. I'm channeling more of their energy at the moment because that's where my evolution is taking me on a soul level and with my higher self and higher purpose, that for my evolution now, I need to start, you know, working more with Mother Mary, Isis and Hathor. I always was, but now it's to a whole other degree. So that is what is coming through my energy and frequency, you know, and that is how we evolve. So it's a beautiful journey. It's a beautiful, beautiful journey of empowerment, but it's also a journey of devotion and commitment. It is, you know, but thankfully there's so much available to us. Now it's just around getting focused and getting clear. I'm very big on this. I'm big on simplifying, This is why I love working with Mother Mary. We work with Mother Mary in the first module in Temple Sophia, because it's all about clearing and simplifying. We have to do this to be focused and access our higher self. We have to clear the clutter, the mental clutter, the energetic clutter. And especially now when we're in between these eclipse portals, I'm seeing that a lot more for everyone. There's a lot of heaviness, clutter, weight, going on in the energetic body. We have tools. I'm going to teach you tools to clear that instantly. These are tools that have helped me for 15 years. Got me to where I am right now. That's what's in the Temple Sophia Priestess School, because I know a lot of you are joining probably because you want to know more about it, because our doors are open at the moment. So let me just look at my list and see what else I need to say, what else I want to say, or have I said everything? So, this is the journey with Isis. The Priestess of Isis is like almost like 1 foot in the spiritual realm, 1 foot in the earth realm. This is what we're doing. It's like you're pulling your light, you're pulling your spiritual gifts, you're anchoring it into the earth. Now, that's a journey of mastery right there, but it can be done. And it's an incredibly rewarding, beautiful journey. And it's about overcoming the fear of the unknown, because I know that comes up for everyone. It's like, oh my God, to just be completely my divine feminine gifts. Can I trust myself? Am I ready for this? Can I really, there's a lot of rewiring that has to happen there, because what society has taught us since we were born about how we're supposed to live and how we're supposed to earn money, right? There's a whole other magic that is not ingrained in us when we grow up. There isn't. And that is when you establish a mentor with these ascended masters, you begin connecting with your higher self and you begin co-creating through your higher self. And when you co-create through your higher self, the bank is the bank of the universe. The abundance comes from the bank of the universe. The universe is instantly protecting you and supporting you because you're on the path of light. You're being of service. This is what the universe wants for you, by the way. It's funny because I don't think people actually realize that. If the universe wants that for you, it wants more people to be awakened, and that is my mission. We need more people to awaken their divine feminine channel. We need more people co-creating with the ascended masters. We need more people to do this. There is a shortage. This is my mission, is to activate, initiate people into this lineage, into this path, and to get you empowered in your gifts, get you empowered with your journey, get you empowered with creating and building your temple. We need more people on this planet to do that. The universe will support you. It will. But faith and trust, that is something that you grow into, right? Is like really learning to be in the unknown. Because what is the unknown? It's the feminine. It's the cosmic feminine. It's the divine feminine. That is the unknown. So what you're learning to do is like rewire yourself. It's like clear all those old imprints and templates of the 3D and of this masculine based structure of society. And like remember the empowered ability of manifesting and co-creating through your feminine gifts. This is the transition. This is the shifting of the templates, the old template to the new template. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go into a transmission. So I'm going to put some music on. And let me know also Instagram. Hopefully the music isn't going to be too loud. You know how technical stuff is. So I'm just going to play the music, hopefully. I think it's going to work well for Facebook. I'm not sure about Instagram. So I'm going to play. Hopefully you'll be able to hear me. And if you don't, please just let me know in the comments, okay? But we're going to go through transmission. This is completely channeled. So I'm going to just see what comes through for us as a collective, okay? So whenever you're ready, just getting yourself nice and relaxed. Taking a moment to close your eyes and drop your mind down into your heart and feel your feet rooting down into the crystal core of Mother Earth. Feel your feet rooting into the earth. As you see, sense or feel a large clear quartz crystal beneath your feet. Allow your feet to connect into that crystal as you absorb pure crystalline light through your feet, up your legs and into your body, filling up your entire body with crystalline light. And you take a moment to take an energetic step back as you create space for Goddess Isis to step forward. You may notice her wings, if you see her wings as she's represented. And that might activate your own wings, your wings of Isis, opening up behind your heart chakra, activating the remembrance of you as a priestess of Isis, activating those codes of remembrance when you walked the land of Chem, the land of Egypt, as an ancient priestess of Isis, walking through the temples of Isis. The wings spark a remembrance as you now see your feet land on ancient ground. This is the ancient land of Chem, Egypt, connecting into that ancient lineage as a priestess. And you look down at your body. What are you wearing? And looking around you as you see beautiful temples of Isis, as you would have done during the times of Egypt, ancient Egypt. And these temples are resonating light. You can feel the light, the divinity radiating from these temples around you. They are alive. And you begin now walking towards a temple. And you now step into a temple of Isis. And you see, as you walk in, Goddess Isis waiting for you here. You notice the altars inside the temple in devotion to the divine feminine, the sacred feminine. You see the symbol of the Ankh. And you see the hieroglyphics all over the walls, radiating their light. As you take your fingers and you run your fingers along these sacred symbols, receiving their transmission and frequency. And you're now invited by Goddess Isis to sit in front of her like you are a student And as you sit, it's like you're bowing, you're surrendering to her as your teacher. You are a priestess of Isis in training. What does she have to teach you? And you feel Goddess Isis's balance of power, her connection to the earth, her roots in the earth, so anchored, so grounded, holding this temple space for you, but also so connected to the higher realms. And you take this moment to receive her transmission as you sit in class. You're connecting to the ancient codes, the ancient wisdom of this temple, of this land, of her transmission. And you now see, sense or feel a golden rose within your solar plexus chakra. And this golden rose is radiating its golden light throughout your solar plexus chakra. Helping to awaken your life force, awaken the connection to your light. But also to heal any wounds, power wounds, to clear the center, creating more of a balance and alignment with your power, with your life force. And this golden rose is nourishing and filling this area with its pure golden light. And you now see, sense or feel a golden rose within your third eye chakra. Radiating its light within your third eye. Creating clarity of vision. Connecting you to the golden light of Isis. As your third eye is filled with this light and transmutes this throughout the rest of your body, as it filters down from your third eye, down your body and into your heart, awakening your third eye with the golden light of Isis, awakening your remembrance as a priestess of Isis, a priestess of the light. Opening up new pathways, new truths, newfound sense of clarity or connection to yourself. The remembrance of who you are, your divinity. As this golden light comes down from your third eye and into your heart, awakening this remembrance within your heart space, filling your heart with the golden light of Isis. And you thank Goddess Isis for all her guidance and her support. Let her know what it is you need help with, what it is you need to anchor, manifest, co-create. take a moment to surrender to her. And you feel these ancient priestess teachings, gifts, lineage just begin to spark within you. This connection to Isis and how much it opens up your connection to your soul's lineage, to your remembrance of Egypt, of your ancient lifetimes on earth, and the gifts, the embodiments you can retrieve to come into your divine truth in this lifetime, to anchor your gifts and your light and the fullness of your divinity in this lifetime. As you thank Goddess Isis, and you feel a shower of golden light coming over your body, but you also see the symbol of the golden ankh coming over your body, sealing the energy that you've received today. And you begin to feel that initiation as a priestess of Isis. And you're going to bring all these codes back in with you now as you exit the temple. And you come back now through time and space into the here and the now as you ground your feet into the earth. Center within your heart, bringing all these codes, this light back with you, the remembrance back with you into the now. As you very gently, slowly start to come back and open your eyes, come back into the now. Okay, beautiful. For those who are ready to step in and mentor with Goddess Isis and also to go deep with Mary Magdalene, Mother Mary, Sekhmet, Hathor, my Temple of Sophia Priestess School is now open for super early bird. So we actually start on the 1st of November. It's filled with teachings for each of these ascended masters. You're going to be initiated with Mother Mary. You're going to be initiated with Mary Magdalene. You're going to receive those priestess initiations through each of these lineages, through each of these goddesses. And we go through 7 goddesses, Sekhmet, Hathor, and we end with Sophia as well. So this is a journey to you creating your temple here on earth, because this is what I'm here to support you with. This is your journey of activating your divine feminine channel. This is your journey bringing your gifts together and refining and clearing and becoming and radiating your unique soul and spiritual lineage, just priestess lineage that I'm talking about, that I talked about earlier on. You know, we work with your ancestral gifts, your soul gifts, your cosmic gifts. We're working with these different ascended masters to awaken these different lineages within your body, to bring you a fullness and wholeness, but also to learn how to co-create in your 5th dimensional reality, to make that transition and to co-create with the universe. So I'm supporting you with this entire journey in 6-month container. So we have a curriculum and then we have live calls all the way through. So the curriculum is taking you on a journey and I'm taking you on a journey as well. How often are the classes? It's 7 spiral module over 6 months, 9 live calls in the main curriculum, replays provided for everything. And this is a really comprehensive journey, guys. This is for those who really want to devote and start anchoring their gifts, right? Is to start building that foundation of your temple and create your spiritual business for whenever you're ready. This is also for people who want to get clear on their higher purpose and start mastering their feminine, mastering their power, mastering their boundaries. We're going to be working through all of this, healing the genetic line, healing the ancestral line. This is all required as part of this journey. This is what we have to do to make this shift, to begin co-creating and become empowered on our priestess path and really start seeing the results, actually manifesting, co-creating that tangible results. I'm here for tangible results. I'm not here for anything else. I'm not an airy fairy teacher. Yeah, I also hold the balance of heaven and earth. I am a priestess of Isis. It's one of my greatest gifts, actually, you know, is holding that balance of heaven and earth. I can take you to the stars. I can take you into the earth. I can do both. I'm here to hold that balance and ground and anchor you in. This is what I'm here to do. But I'm also here to support you with the opening of your gifts, with the connection to source, with the connection to the cosmic feminine, with Sophia, your higher self, the higher realms. Take you all the way up there, but also bring you down, get you into the roots. For example, the roots of Isis transmission. We go really deep into that in our Isis module. You're going to be mentoring with these ascended masters each and every spiral module. You've got mentorship time with them. And practices, transmissions, video modules, everything in there to support you with this journey. And a call from me, you can ask any questions. You'll get customized support from me in all our calls. If you can't make the calls, you submit your questions beforehand and I answer them in the call. I'm here to support you with your specific journey, whatever it may be, whether it be to get clear on your spiritual skills, how to bring them forth into the world, whether it be that you want to really master your reality, or whether it be you're ready to create your temple, whether it be that, you want to find a lineage, to really hold a lineage that has power, that has an ancient connection, or be a part of a community of priestesses that really resonate with this frequency. This is not about a superficial journey. This is real depth. I take you into depth. I can't do superficial stuff. I can't do shallow stuff. I can't do any of that. I am someone of true, deep, transformational depth. It's all about transformation. That is my intention for everything that I give you and everything that I offer you, that I know is going to transmute and transform your reality. Go see those testimonials on the page on Temple of Sophia. You'll see some there. So if you're ready, or if you want to find out more, go to magdalenerosetemple.com. It's my website. And you'll see there at the top, you'll see a link there for Temple of Sophia. You can go take a look at the page. There's lots of information on there. And you DM me, write to me, email, whatever it is, with any questions that you have. So this is like a lifetime's worth of work for me, guys, in this school. It's like everything. And we're also working with the Rose Priestess Path. So each of these ascended masters are attributed to a rose. Mother Mary is the white rose. Sekhmet is the orange rose. Isis is the golden rose. Hathor is the blue rose. Hathor, we're opening up the voice. We're opening up the throat. We're opening up the throat chakra, right? So we're actually working through the chakras of each of these as well. Sekhmet is navel, sacral chakra. We're working with her electromagnetic light and power. That each of these goddesses has their own initiation. And like I say, what you've just had with me today is like a small experience of what you're going to get. Everything, the transmissions are longer, everything is in more depth, and you're taking on a real deep journey with these masters, and to go through this path and this lineage, master and anchor. Okay. So like I say, everything's at more information on magdalenerosetemple.com/Temple of Sophia, if you want to add that in, but it's also there in my menu. It's also there on my page. You'll see it. You can click on it. And I look forward to all those who are ready to join, and I will connect with you all soon. Okay, bye.